One. All right. So let me just say to the callers, I have a guest, and I have to get to my guest, and then I'm gonna get to the callers and the super chats and all that. And so be patient. I will get to you. I will get to you. Did you hear that the Dalai Lama called somebody fat? What the? We will get to that as well. We haven't done any sound bites today. What a mess. So I have with me um, a flat earther. A flat earther, right? His name is, my guess is David Weiss. And David is also known as Flat Earth Dave. Flat Earth Dave. David is from the East Coast of the United States, where he was born and raised, and has some insight into the curious subject of our Earth. And he supposed to have proof that the Earth is flat. Isn't that amazing? So this should be very interesting. David, welcome to the show.
Jesse, thanks for having me. Can you hear me okay? Can you see me?
I see you. I hear you. Can you see me?
Yeah, I just have a static image of you, but that's okay.
You have a static image? That's not okay.
Yeah. I just have a like your camera's off for me.
Oh, they're working on it. Be patient. They're working on it, David.
But you can see me, right? I'm waving.
He white. He's waving. He white. Thank you for coming on, David.
Jesse, I just thank you for having me. It's amazing to be here. I appreciate it. And I just want to say I've listened to interviews of yours here and there over many years. And every time I come across an interview, I'm like, wow, that's really amazing, in your words. And and I always liked it. And so recently, the last couple of weeks, I've been since we've been booked, I've been listening to more and more just to get a feel and prepare for the show. And you are singing my song. Everything that you say, from your silent prayer to everything, it's what I do. And I just love it. But I got a quick question for you before we start, since this is a special day for you. You believe that God is responsible for your creation, right?
Yes, all things.
Okay. So do you believe that you are alive when you're in your mother's womb?
Do you believe that you're alive when you're in your mother's womb? Yes.
Okay. So why aren't you celebrating your conception day, which would be about August 16th, instead of your birthday? Because you're denying 9 months of God's creation by celebrating today. That's all I want to say.
Because when I was growing up, we never celebrated in the womb. We're just so glad we made it through the womb.
Well, that is a day to celebrate that you got through, but that's the real day. You should celebrate the day that you were created. So that's August 16th, everybody. So don't forget, Jesse gets extra super chats and coffees on August 16th.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, David, let me ask, since I don't know a lot about you, are you a Christian?
That's a very personal question, and I'm going to get into that. I'll tell you something. Before 2014, I denied all religion, all creator. I was a big believer in scientism or science, which is really scientism. And I denied everything, and it's because of the globe lie. And that's what pushed me there. And then after I discovered that we don't live on a spinning, wobbling, rocky ball surrounded by smooth water that no one's ever seen the curve, adjacent to air, adjacent to a void, which is scientifically impossible, I understood that this place is intelligently designed. And therefore, you have no other option but to accept that there's a creator. I believe it's Romans 1:19 that says, it says, for what may be known about God is to clear to them since God has shown it to them. Basically, what the whole verse is saying is once you see my creation, you can no longer deny my existence. And this is what the wannabe controllers of this world want. They want you in a situation where you can deny God.
So let me ask you this. You said that you were a Christian, but you stopped being one when you found out that the earth was flat?
Well, no. I was a non-believer in anything. I believed in science. The science was my religion. And then now I understand that there is a creator. So
So you have never been a Christian.
Well, hold on. It's your definition of what a Christian is, and that could take 2 hours to talk about. But let's get a little
I
farther
just
forward.
want to. You're
Yeah.
talking kind of fast right now, and I just want to.
All right.
I'm black and slow, and
All
so
right,
I
let's slow
just
it
kind of.
down.
I just kind of want to understand. You're telling me that you have never been a Christian. You believed in science.
That at that time, yeah. I mean, I would classify myself as, if you want to define Christian, more of a Christian than many people, Bible thumpers that call themselves Christians.
And I haven't defined Christian. How do you define Christianity?
Oh well, now we're diving in. I would say somebody that believes in the Creator, that believes in Christ, that loves their neighbor and obeys God's law. That's the foundation of Christianity.
Oh, okay. And do you believe that God created heaven and earth?
Yes.
You do believe that.
Yes.
And why should we believe you when you say that the earth is flat? Why should we believe?
Did not believe me.
Why should
belief
we
is the enemy. Belief is the enemy of knowing, or belief is the lazy man's knowing. Because everybody believes that I'm on the East Coast because you said it, because I told you that. You believe it, but you don't know it. So to know it takes time and effort. And people are very lazy, and they don't want to take the time to verify things. God says, verify all things.
And so you know for sure that the earth is flat. You know that without a doubt?
I know for without a doubt that we're not on a spinning rocky ball flying through an infinite, godless, or distant God expanding universe, because when you look at the details of it, it's absolute insanity. But when you when you look at all the measurements of Earth, everything measures flat. When you measure the Earth, we can see farther than they say we could see. You know, on a curved surface, there should be a limit to our vision, but we can see way, way, way beyond that. And then all of the measurements for the heliocentric model, which is the globe model, I call it the heliosinister trick, are assumed measurements. None of them have been proven. In school, we were taught Earth is a globe, this is that, and this is the way it is. But even to this very day, the best physicists in the world say they can't prove whether it's a globe that we're spinning or everything is spinning above us. They can't prove it either way. But they teach us one as a fact and the other one as they don't even mention the other one as a possibility. But to this very day, the best physicists in the world. You had Mark Sargent on about 5 years ago. You had a physicist on, and that physicist said the same thing I'm saying right now, that they can't tell whether we're moving or not.
And do you know for sure that the earth is flat?
Well, what is the definition of flat? Flat is not a shape. Flat is a description of level, horizontal. We live on a non-rotating, level, topographical, horizontal plane. And, we have hills and valleys and everything, but everything is level. And we know this for a fact. Now, in the flat earth community, we're trying to figure this place out. Flat earthers are willing to say, we don't know. Or, hey, that works on both flat and globe. And what you'll find out in this conversation, things will fall into three pots. Works on a flat earth, works on a globe earth, and works on both. And you'll find that things go into both end bowls, but the middle bowl, the globe, nothing goes in there by itself. Nothing. So you have to keep looking at the evidence. And, here's the thing. We can, since we have 5 hours to do this show, we're barely going to be able to cover all of the information. So what I tell people is, do not believe anything I say. Go verify it yourself, but Google will not hand you anything. If you Google flat earth, Google my name, Google anything, you're going to get propaganda. You're going to get nonsense, right? On my website, flatearthdave.com, there's a button called the Crash Course, and there's a list of videos in there that are being hidden from you. Watch those videos with a skeptical mind. Do not believe anything. Verify everything. And I'm so confident, for those of you who know what Bitcoin is, I offer 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof, but you have to watch those videos first.
And so do you know for sure and without a doubt that the earth is flat?
I know for sure and without a doubt that it's not a globe as they describe.
And do you know for sure and without a doubt that it's flat?
Well, what is your definition of flat?
Do you know for sure and without a doubt that the earth is flat?
Well, it's not flat because there's hills and valleys, so that's not flat.
But
It's
you're a
level.
flat earther.
It's level. It's horizontal.
But
How would you describe a pond? Is it flat?
do you know for sure and without a doubt that the earth is flat?
Well, all of our observations show a flat level Earth, 127,000 feet. Earth isn't spinning out from underneath here. It looks flat.
And do you know for sure and without a doubt that the earth is flat?
Are you going to keep asking me until I answer? I know for sure that the Earth is not rotating. I know for sure that it is level. I know for sure that all plumb bobs are parallel to each other and perpendicular to horizontal. I know for sure that the oceans do not bend when at rest. I know for sure that we can see farther than the physical ball allows us to, right? If there's a curvature, my mouth is behind the curvature. You can't see it because of the curvature, a physical horizon. There is no physical horizon, and our optics today have made us see much farther than our naked eyes could before. We can see with our naked eyes farther than the geometric globe allows, and with optics, we can see magnitudes farther. Now, the things that we can see at distances, there's two options. Earth is flat, or the Earth is 1,000 times bigger than they're telling us, and they're hiding more land, more resources. They're hiding all sorts of things. So, do I know for sure the Earth is flat? I know for sure it's not a globe.
And so do you know for sure and without a doubt that the earth is flat?
Well, let's take a look at this. So here is a view.
But you're not answering my question.
I'm going to answer your question.
You might not be able to see me on the camera yet, but I'm black and slow.
I see you.
I'm black and slow. Oh, you can see me. You notice that I'm black and slow now.
Right.
So before we move on, do you know for sure and without a doubt that the earth is flat?
I'll answer that question after you answer this question, okay? If the Earth is the size that they tell us, which is 24,901 miles around, it's hard to see out here, but there's a whole bunch of mountains.
You still didn't answer my question yet.
I'm going to answer it.
Where are you going to answer it? After the show?
After this slide. After this slide. All right?
All right.
So these mountains, according to the Earth's size, should be behind 50 miles of curvature. They should be 50 miles below the curvature, but we can see them. What would that tell you? Would that tell you that the Earth is flat?
You asking me that?
I'm asking you that.
I don't know, because I know that the Earth, because it's made of dirt, it tends to fall from one thing to another. It's never stay the same due to the fact that it is created from dirt. So the mountains can be one place or one way today and another place. So do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
What's your definition of flat? Is flat a perfectly smooth surface? Because then no, it's not flat.
Do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
I know for sure, without a doubt, that there is no curvature. So if something doesn't have curvature, then it's what?
Do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
I keep asking me, Jesse, but if something doesn't have curvature, then it's what?
Do you know for sure that the Earth is flat without a doubt?
If something isn't moving, then it's what?
Why are you not answering my question so we can move on?
Because the answer is what is the definition of flat? Like, is a table flat?
You don't know what flat is?
Take a microscope, look at a table.
You don't know what
and valleys on
you don't know what flat is, but yet you call yourself a flat earth expert. What the?
Jesse, let me ask you a question. You look at your kitchen table and it looks flat, but then you take an electron microscope and look at it. There's mountains and valleys on there. Is it flat?
But you won't answer my question as if. No, I'm just playing.
Is your kitchen table flat?
But you won't answer. You're the expert
I'm going to
here.
answer I'm going to answer
You're
it if
the
you answer
expert
that.
here on
Is your
flat.
kitchen
You're the
table
expert
flat?
here on flat Earth, right?
Yeah.
And you came highly recommended,
Thank
and you
you.
can't even answer the question if you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat. How can you be a flat earther and you don't know what flat is?
I'm really a true earther, a level plane, non-rotating earther.
So you're not a flat earther.
I'm going to answer the question if you answer this question.
You're a
Your
true
kitchen
earthy and
table.
not a flat earthy?
I'm gonna tell you that the Earth is flat if you answer this question.
No, you keep asking me questions. I'm answering your
Is
question.
your kitchen table flat?
I don't have one.
Is your desk flat? Is the desk that you have flat?
Do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat? Expert.
In your definition of flat, if your desk is flat, if your floor is flat, then the Earth is flat.
I don't have a floor. I have a dirt floor.
You're standing on a floor right now. Come on, Jesse.
No, I'm standing on a stage.
You're on a stage. So is the stage flat?
It's kind of round.
Oh, come on. Is it flat? I'm not talking about the
There
exterior.
are portions of it
surface.
that are flat, but there are portions that are round. And so, do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
If you describe something as not having curvature as being flat, then yes, for sure, I know that it's flat.
I'm sorry?
If something does not curve, then it is flat.
So you don't know for sure if the Earth is flat.
I do know that the Earth does not curve. There is no curvature.
But you're saying everything but what I'm asking.
I thought I answered the question pretty good.
Not yet. Not yet.
Do I know for sure that the Earth is flat? There's two options.
Let your yes be yes and your no's be no. Do you know for sure that the Earth is flat?
Since you're forcing me to answer this, I will answer it. It is either flat or 1,000,000 times bigger than they tell us.
So what?
It's either flat or 1,000,000 times bigger than they tell us, so we can't detect any curvature.
So you don't know for sure. So you don't know for sure if it's flat or not.
Here, I'll tell you this: if the Earth was 1,000,000 times bigger than they told us, that means there's 1,000,000 times more, the number of continents and 1,000,000 times the resources. That's a big problem. I'll go with that. So it's either 1,000,000 times bigger or more, or it's flat.
And so you don't know for sure then if it's flat. You're just taking a guess as
No.
the other people who say that is round like a ball.
No.
So the round ball people are taking a guess about it, and you're taking a guess about it because you don't know for sure that it's flat. You don't know for sure and without a doubt that it's flat, right?
So the people that say the Earth is a globe, they have dimensions. We've disproven those dimensions.
But you still didn't prove anything.
We know for sure that it's not a globe the size that they tell us.
But you can't prove that the Earth is flat.
Well,
you try to prove that the Earth is not. You try to prove that the Earth is not round by saying it's not round, but it's flat. But you don't have any. You don't know for sure and without a doubt that it's flat either.
Not flat like this. This is not real. This is what you'll find.
But you don't know that.
Well, we know it's not this.
You don't know that.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. You don't even know if it's flat or not.
Well, it's your definition of flat.
But let me ask this. I'll move on since you don't know for sure and without a doubt. But let me ask.
Flat or 1,000,000 times bigger, I think that either one of those says something.
So it could be round, but it's just 1,000,000 times bigger than what you can see. So it could be round then, right?
That is true. But think about
read
this.
my case.
What if
we still don't have proof that it's flat?
Are hiding 1,000,000 times the number of continents? What if they were hiding that? Resources, civilizations. What if? We don't know. So I believe it's a level, stationary, non-rotating plane. Every test done through time, through history, that looks for axial rotation.
You can't do a what if. If the frog didn't have a glass ass, he wouldn't have broken when he jumped either. So you can't do what if. You're just doing what the round earthers are doing. You're doing the
No,
same thing.
I'm not. You can't say that. You can't say that.
You're trying to
You can't say
prove that the round earth is not round, but you don't know for sure that it's flat, and I understand that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jesse, if the Earth was a million times bigger than they told us, that means they're hiding a lot of stuff from us. That's a problem.
Right. But the point is, it
Same thing
could
with
be
flat.
that. So it still don't have the proof without a
Right.
doubt that it's flat. You're just saying, well, if it's round, they're hiding something from us. But it still doesn't prove. It still doesn't prove that it is flat.
Right.
Right.
Well, so the thing is
that right?
What is flat is the question. So yes, it doesn't prove that it's just flat like you're pigeonholing me to. But
I rest my case.
Since we can prove that it's not a globe nearly like they say.
But you haven't even proved that it's not a globe. The globe might be so big you can't see around it.
Well, you know what? If it's flat or a million times bigger, I'm a million times bigger earther.
What?
Okay. Either way, the deception. Jesse, the whole deception. People say, "Well, why would they lie?" When you take away, people say, "Well, what about boats over the horizon? What about seasons? What about sunsets? What about all of these things that they think are proofs of the globe?" When they take the time and look at the evidence and see that these things actually work perfectly on a flat Earth, they go, "What difference does it make? Why would they lie?
Why is it important to you for people to know that it's flat?"
Because when it brought me to God.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
No.
What do you mean, no?
The earth cannot bring you to God.
Well, no, the understanding of where we live made me see that there is God. And then my relationship with God grew from there.
No.
No?
Your relationship cannot grow from science because you said you didn't believe in God, you believe in science.
I did.
And knowing whether the earth is flat or round cannot bring you to God either. But why is it important to you that people know that the earth is flat?
Because in this world, there's so much deception going on. And the best place to commune with God is in your silent prayer, in nature. Nature doesn't lie. Nature, I say the natural world is God's world. And they want to take us away from that. They put us on a heliocentric ball that's doing spinning and whirling and twirling, doing crazy things in an expanding, ever-expanding universe. And that keeps people dizzy, lost, out of control, not knowing where they are, right? So if in the heliocentric system, this is what people believe. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour on the equator. We're orbiting the sun at 66,600 miles an hour, a speed that you can't even fathom. And we're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles per hour, right? But we can't feel any of those motions, right? And all of those motions are curved motions. Like people say, well, I'm in an airplane, I can't feel the motion. Well, if that airplane wanted to mimic the slowest speed, which is the spin of the Earth, you'd have to double the speed of the airplane. You'd have to remove the outer shell of the airplane. And you'd have to nosedive down at a mile per minute to follow the curve of the Earth. And don't tell me you're not going to feel that, right?
What a mess. You said you said that the best place to do what with God in nature. What did you say?
I said that nature doesn't lie. Nature is created by God.
What did you say about? Did you say the best place to do something with God is in nature?
If you want to connect with God, what's a better place to do it? In a busy household with Wi-Fi and people making noises, or maybe to sit in nature and have an experience with the Creator?
You're never going to find God by sitting in nature looking for Him.
Well, not looking for Him. Just you're just having a moment doing your silent prayer.
But you're not going to find God in nature. He's created nature. He controls nature, but that's not where you find Him.
Well, what if you've already found Him?
but you haven't.
At all?
No.
Okay. How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because you think you found him through science, and
No, I didn't find him through science. Science hid him from me.
What?
Science.
Oh, I thought you
God
said you
from
didn't
me.
believe in God. You believed in science.
I did for all my growing up all my life. I believed in science. Scientism is a religion. It's a fake religion. Science is real.
Right.
They don't give us real science.
There is real science out there and fake science, but
Right.
I'm still not seeing how you find God in nature.
Well, it's
Even
just
though
a
he
place-
controlled nature, but that's not where we find him.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm saying it's a place to get away from all of the distractions that distract us from finding our true self, finding God within ourselves. It's in your silent prayer, you said, clear your head, right? God's within you, and hold your hands up because what? God's above you, right? That's what you say in your silent prayer.
No,
Yes?
I don't say clear your head. I say become aware of what's happening in your head. You
Perfect,
and not your
perfect.
thoughts, right? But
You're
I
right,
want to
right.
do this because, and I want to hear more about your science, flat earth stuff, but I just want to, for my own understanding, you don't know for sure and without a doubt that the earth is flat. You're pretty much doing what the round earthers thinks.
That's
They
not
say
true.
that it's round, like and they say that, and then the flat earthers say it's flat. So you just have two different opposing view about what the earth is.
That's a very unfair analogy. Let me give you an analogy. Let's
Okay.
say we're on. There's a road and it's 100 miles long and it's straight, and we can only see a couple miles down that road before perspective kind of limits our view. And I say, well, that road is straight, and the Glober says, oh no, that road is curving to the
David,
right.
hold that thought. Let me take a quick break, all right? Don't go
Okay.
nowhere. 888-7753-773. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. All right, welcome back. 888-7753-773. I want to go quickly back to my to David Wise, and David is known as Flat Earth Dave. So Dave, because I'm black and slow, I want you to lay out your proof, and I'm gonna give you a little time here to lay out your proof that the Earth is flat.
I'm gonna show you that, but I want to give you an analogy that might help me understand why I'm not gonna say I know for sure that the Earth is flat. Let's say we have a road. It's 100 miles long. We can only see a couple miles down the road due to our vision, and it's straight. And I could zoom in all the way to the end to 100 miles, and that's as far as my zoom will go. A glober says, well, that road is actually turning to the right. And I can prove that it's not because we can see beyond where it should be turning. So the glober has been proven wrong. Now you say, well, do you know that that road's 100 miles? Well, I know that that it's not more. I don't know. I can't see past that, but I can tell you that it's not curving. So if it's not curving, it's not a sphere. It's not curving, right? So the Earth is measurably flat. It's straight. It's level. It's non-rotating. So if it's not rotating, and it's not curving, then it's level and flat.
I used to go down to Miss Seeker and Mr. Robert house, and their house, it was in a curve. When you're driving down to their house, it was in a curve, and you can see the car curving, and the little guide thing on there shows that the car is curving. Are you saying that that road wasn't really curving?
No, I'm not. I'm saying if the road curves, the road curves. If it doesn't curve, it doesn't curve. The Earth doesn't curve.
Oh, okay.
There is no curvature.
And what is your?
So Jesse, I can say
So
I am 100%.
you see this?
That has curvature.
This has curvature?
That is curvature. I can say without a doubt that that is a sphere.
Amazing. And what is this?
That I can say without a doubt that the surface of that is level. I mean, I see it has a little dome over it, but I don't know. I'm not saying that the Earth is like that. I'm not saying that that's the end of the Earth and it's floating in space. That's not what I'm saying. We can't go beyond Antarctica and explore.
So what is your proof that the Earth is flat?
It doesn't curve.
But that's easy to say that. I can say
it's not easy to say that. You actually have to go out and measure.
I can say that it does curve.
How? Can you prove it? Because I can show you that it doesn't.
But when I'm on the airplane, I can sense that we're going around something. Show me your graphic of the Earth flat.
Show you a graphic of the Earth being flat?
Yeah. Don't you have something to show me?
Yeah, of course.
Let me see it.
So when the higher we go, the higher they say you got to go higher. You got to go higher to see the Earth curvature. Here's 127,000 feet. The Earth is supposedly spinning at 1,000 miles an hour below this balloon, but the balloon landed right near where it took off after being up there for 3 hours. So that shows that the Earth isn't spinning, and the horizon looks pretty darn level. From there, this is see this one. This is another shot showing a level horizon, 120,000 feet. But people on an airplane will say, "Oh, I see the curvature." Jesse, if you were on a perfectly level area, you're out on the water or the salt flats or whatever, you can only see a certain distance before perspective creates a horizontal eye zone known as the horizon. So when I'm looking forward at 12 o'clock, I can see a certain distance. When I look over at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, I can see the same distance. And if I look at all of those points in between, that creates a big flat circle of vision. And people see that curve, and because of their brainwashing, they're like, oh, the Earth is a sphere. No, that's just the limit of your vision. You see in an equal circle in all directions. So that curve that you see is flat. Like if you put your head in the middle of a hula hoop, that edge of the hula hoop is the limit of your vision, and it's flat. It's not a sphere.
But the hula hoop itself is round.
Yeah, well,
right.
That's an analogy. I'm just using a little demonstration.
Oh, okay.
I'm showing you that we can see certain distances. I just want to show you the helio nonsensical system.
Okay.
On how absolutely crazy how crazy it is. So I was showing you how we're spiraling all around. This is a rocket sled called the hypersonic sled track. And watch it go. Watch carefully. It goes by at Mach 8.6, which is 8.6 times the speed of sound. That speed is so fast you can barely fathom it. You have to believe, if you believe in the heliocentric model, that we're on a ball, a lumpy rock, surrounded by smooth, curved water that no one's ever seen the curve, surrounded by high pressure air, adjacent to a zero pressure void of space. All of these things are impossible. And we're moving 10 times faster than this around the sun and 100 times faster than that chasing the sun. And we don't feel it. But when we go out into nature and they tell us this is going on, all of this spiraling, we can look at the water and we could say, hey, that doesn't show any movement, right? When we look at water, water tells us we're not moving. The science of water, actual science, water is level, makes a perfect reflection. There is no convexity. Well, the Earth is so big, Dave, you can't see the curvature, but I want you to believe you see boats go over the horizon, right? At just 3 miles away on a globe the size that they tell us, 24,901 miles around, there's 6 feet of curvature. That means a 6 foot tall person standing at the edge of perfectly calm water cannot see the water beyond 3 miles because it's behind a physical curve, but we can.
Amazing.
We can zoom in on things far, far, far beyond where they tell us.
So the balloon that was spinning with it,
Yeah.
right? Was the atmosphere spinning with it as well?
Well, it's up out of the atmosphere. So we're told that the atmosphere, I'm going to answer your question right now. We're told that the atmosphere is kind of Velcroed to the Earth because of gravity, right? But somehow we have summer breezes that blow left and right. Now, the Earth is spinning to the east. That's what they tell us. So the sun would rise in the east and set in the west as we spin by. But up at like 45,000 feet, there's winds that are outrunning the spin of the Earth. So we've sent balloons up that should land 3,000 miles out in the ocean, launched in out west. They should be 3,000. The Earth should have spun 3,000 miles out, but they landed east of where they took off from. So somehow they outran the spin of the Earth at 127,000 feet.
And so was the atmosphere spinning with it?
Well, the Earth isn't spinning. You have to believe that the atmosphere spins with the Earth. Winds can blow and ignore the locked-in spin. Or you can just believe that the Earth is stationary. We're in an enclosed system, as God says on page 1 of the Bible. And that there's breezes left and right, and there's winds.
Because I'm
wind.
slow, and I know you're saying a lot, but so just give me a yes or no. I'm black and slow. Was the atmosphere spinning with it? Yes or no?
The Earth is not spinning, no.
So the atmosphere is not spinning with it?
The Earth is not spinning, so no.
Oh, okay. Do you know who Hake is? You ever heard of Hake of the HakeReport.com?
No.
Oh, you will now. Hake is here. He has a couple of questions for you. And
no problem.
Hake has a show here on this network called the Hake, Hake Report.com. And he has on his little Flat Earther shirt right now.
Hey, Flat Earth Dave.
Can he be shown?
I don't know if he can see me, but
can you see him?
I cannot.
Oh, okay. I guess he can't be on there. See,
that's all right.
I have Flat Earth fans, and I'm a ball tard. So I'm wearing a Flat Earth shirt, even though I believe in the spinning ball through space thing.
Okay. So go ahead. What's your question?
One of those was, what makes you think that we would feel the spin since we've always been spinning?
Well, because when you're in a car or an airplane going straight on a perfectly smooth road at a consistent speed, you can still feel that motion. But let's just say you can't. If that car takes the slightest turn to the left or the right, or speeds up or slows down, imagine having a dinner plate filled with water in that car, and that car speeds up or slows down the tiniest bit, or takes the slightest turn. That water is out of the plate. We're curving off of a linear path is the same as acceleration. So when you curve, there's a force. but we're spinning at 66,000 miles an hour. We're chasing the sun in a curved circle, speeding up and slowing down, but somehow we don't ever feel that. Is that I mean, you have to do mental gymnastics to believe in that.
I don't know. It sort of makes sense to me because, like you said, we're in like an enclosed system. We're like protected by the Earth, so the Earth is doing all that other stuff, and we don't even realize it. Except maybe when our vertigo goes away and we catch the vertigo, and then maybe at that point that's when we're feeling the spinning and stuff.
I don't follow what you're saying.
Have you ever experienced vertigo where you get really dizzy all of a sudden?
I know what it is, yeah.
Maybe that thing in our brain is what's accounting for all that spinning, and we can handle it.
So the vertigo is stopping us from feeling these incredible spins and G-forces and turnings. You know, like
Maybe.
How come somebody that lives on the equator and then goes to Alaska doesn't feel the difference? It's because the equator is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and Alaska is spinning at 300 miles an hour.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I think that you would have to have a major adjustment for that. We can spin, we can whirl, we can twirl, but you go 55 miles an hour in a car and you get car sick and throw up. Doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes sense to me because you think about inside of even a glass of water. When you pour something in a glass of water, like all the water is moving around inside of it every which way.
Yeah.
Even though it's still enclosed in that water.
Yeah, but then when at rest, it lays flat. Water lies flat.
I don't know what water does because at tiny points, water becomes like a ball.
Well, and with surface tension, but anything bigger than
Right.
a gallon of water at rest lies flat.
But at scale, we don't know what it does.
Well,
at
we can
scale.
measure it. We've gone out to frozen lakes and we measure where there should be curvature. And you know, water at rest when it lies flat. When it's super cold, it lies flat, and it freezes flat. So you know, we've gone out and we've done experiments where we you know, here's a lake right here, 8 miles long, and a guy went out there and it's 6 inches off the ground, so we know the height. He put these lights out there at 8 miles, 7 miles, 6 miles, and 5 miles. According to globe math, accounting for ridiculous, stupid refraction, these should be 30 feet behind the curve, 22 feet, 15 feet, and 9 feet, according to globe math, not flat Earth math. Globe math with globe magical refraction added in just to give the globe the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
And we can see all of them.
Have you heard of diffraction? Because with diffraction, light can bend around corners. So maybe the lasers are curving too, since they're enclosed in the
so
Earth.
they're not lasers. These are just lights. These are just lights that we can see. And they're refracting up. If you know, let me ask you a question. If there's refraction that lifts things up from behind a curve,
Yeah.
how come refraction doesn't take a building over on the right and move it over to the left, or vice versa? If refraction was a real thing, we wouldn't be able to navigate. We'd be all over the place. All of these line up perfectly flat. How come they're not refracting up higher? How come they're not magically going up higher? Because this one has to refract up 30 feet to stop here. This one has to refract up 22 feet. This one has to refract up 15 feet and 9 feet. Or maybe it's just flat. Don't make it weird.
I know, but have you heard of diffraction? Diffraction, it bends around
I've heard
corners.
of all of these concepts
Yeah.
of bending things around corners.
Yeah.
How come when I'm standing next to my house, I don't see the other house that's behind it? How come it doesn't bend around the corner? Because it doesn't happen. Yes, you can make a lens that'll show you something around a corner, but that's a physical lens that you're making. Reality shows us that the Earth is level, non-rotating. We can see too far. Is the Earth flat? It's either flat or a million times bigger than they're telling us.
I don't know. I don't necessarily buy that because
You don't
it
buy
depends.
that.
It depends on like the hotness of the air, the thickness of the air, the moisture in the air. There's all kinds of stuff going on. When you see heat, you can see the waves of the heat affecting your vision of what's behind that heat, those heat waves. So there's all
Understood.
kinds of stuff that happens with our sight and our vision and light and the Earth that I don't think that you're accounting for.
Well, you're saying that heat is making things appear and not appear, and
Yeah, they
hiding
turn like
things.
wavy. You've seen it turn
So-
wavy
oh,
under
Absolutely.
next to like a car?
When you look through atmosphere, when you look up, you're looking through a tiny bit of atmosphere. When you look across, you're looking through all atmosphere.
Let me ask-
we can. Go ahead.
You want to
say
finish?
No, go
something?
ahead.
What about the crispness of the atmosphere? I mean, the horizon.
Yeah, the horizon's
What
so
about
crisp and clean and perfect. What else could it be but an obvious globe?
the horizon's so crisp and clean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that really something that you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. Let me ask you a question.
But
Is
what
that
about
horizon-
the crisp?
Is this horizon crisp and clean?
No, that's Hawaii.
No, that's
Hold on.
crisp and clean. Yeah.
This is so this is the Earth curve right here, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, yes. So pay attention, Jesse. Take a look. I'm zooming in. Now, what are this? What are these things out here? What are these? These are dolphins. These are dolphins jumping that are far beyond that line.
Oh,
They're
I
far
thought those
beyond
was
it.
illegal aliens.
Are they jumping behind the curve and getting up over? Hey, look at me! I'm jumping over the curve. Or is this just where our eyes can't resolve the distance anymore?
What the?
These are dolphins. This is water. You just can't see it because it becomes unresolvable.
But I can
It's
see
the way
that
our
there's
eyes work.
water and there are dolphins jumping up in the water.
Yeah, but they're way past what you just said was Earth curvature. They're way past it. Right?
Cool.
Let me show you something.
But that
so you-
doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, I don't think
Yes,
that.
it does. It proves
No,
that
because-
your crisp horizon
Yeah.
isn't a crisp horizon. It's a fuzzy horizon.
That's not true.
That is true. It
That-
is a fuzzy horizon. Even the globe,
That's not fuzzy to me,
the
though.
globe trolls
Is
that,
that
are
fuzzy?
out here, the anti-flat earthers,
Yeah.
they'll admit that the horizon, you can't see it. That it's an apparent location. That's because the Earth is flat, but they want to claim other things.
Come on, man.
So
Amazing.
let me show you something else, Jesse. Check this out. This is hard for people. It's easy to understand. I'm going to talk slow because you're slow. So I'm just using this lit part of the water all the way up to right there where it turns dark.
Yeah.
Now this distance here, let's call that 100 yards, maybe 200 yards. Call it a quarter mile if you want. It's not, because I know where this is. And this from here to here, let's just call it a quarter of a mile. No, it's not even. But then from my finger to that line is 10 miles.
That's cool.
So all of the information has to be pushed into that. So let's take a look. Let me show you what I mean. So from here to here is a quarter of a mile, not even. That's a quarter of a mile. That's another quarter of a mile. That's another quarter of a mile. That's another one. You can't even see them anymore because you can't resolve it, right? So if I'm looking at it sideways, let's pretend there's a boat here. I'm looking from where you see me. That's a quarter of a mile. That's right. That's another. So the boat gets smaller from the point of view over here, right? That's another quarter mile, another quarter mile, another quarter mile. All of these get to a point where you can't tell that it's any farther. So hold on, hang with me. Let me just finish here. So we have that the sky does the same thing. From here to here is X distance, right? The same distance is wedged into there. The same distance is wedged into there. The same distance is wedged into there. And it merges to where you can't resolve it. That's your horizontal eye zone. Horizontal, not curve eye zone, not physical horizon. That's your optical horizontal eye zone, right?
Nice.
So
Let me say this, Dave, because sometimes someone want to know. He said the reason we can't see the dolphins is because the eyes can't see it. Can it also be true that it's because of the curves?
it can't because of the curve, because we can see them. We just can't see the water because all of that information gets compressed into that little tiny area, so you can't see beyond it. That now, if he had a zoom lens, he zoomed in, but he still can't see the water.
You know
because,
what? No, finish
because
your point. I'm
he'd have
sorry.
to get up higher to see it. You'd have to get up higher to see. The higher you are on a flat Earth, the farther you can see because you have a better angle. Things disappear from the bottom up because the bottom has the lowest angle to your eye.
Let me
Watch
say this,
watch
Dave, because we're going to have to run, but I do want to say, when you were showing that graphic just now with all that red, I realized that as you were showing that, like for a person like me who don't know if that's true or not, what you're showing, and because we're so easily in the mind, we're so easy subject to whatever's out there. We'll say yes, oh yeah, I see that makes sense, when it really doesn't make sense because we don't know, we can't see that it makes sense or not. But we'll say yes to it because the person that presented it said it's like riding down the road and you get lost and then you stop and ask somebody, well, how do you get down to Hirschboro? They tell you, oh, go right, make a left, and go to, it could be the wrong direction, but because their mind is screwed up or they so subject to the expert, they go along with it not knowing that it's true or not. Because everything you just showed me about the graphic, I don't know if it's true or not. And so I can't either I agree with it or disagree because it still doesn't make sense.
I got it. Let me give, and in an hour, just an hour on here, there's 0% chance that I could convince anybody of anything. All I'm trying to do here is convince people to take a look because you've been convinced your whole life never to look. And you've been convinced the reason not to look is because flat Earth is this, and it's not. It's not what you think it is. So my website, flatearthdave.com, scroll down, you'll see a thing that says Crash Course. There's a bunch of videos there. One of them is called Heliosorcery. Watch that. The Level with Me by Hibbler Productions, Flat Earth, A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth, 21 Questions. They're in there. You won't find them on your own. They're being hidden from you. So watch them, and if you can watch and come up with one flow proof, you win 3 Bitcoins.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
FlatEarthDave.com. Thank you, Jesse.
All right, buddy. Back in a moment.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.